Hello world, I'm back. I'm back with another video in one day. And now, in my last video, I showed you all my pothos plants. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you all my philodendron plants. And we're going to start with the smallest one. Good afternoon, by the way. It's 12:46. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, I'll come back with an evening video as well. I don't know. Anything can happen today. So this is my first philodendron. Not my first philodendron, but it's the first philodendron I'm going to show ya. And it's my newest one. So my friend gave me this philodendron from a clipping that he or his mom had. I don't know. And we don't know what kind of plant it is. So, like, we know it's a philodendron. I know it's a philodendron. But I don't know what kind of philodendron. So if you know, this is your moment. This is your moment to tell me and whoever else doesn't know what kind of philodendron this is, exactly what kind of philodendron it is. I potted it in soil today. It had been living in water, growing roots. But it's got a new leaf coming up right there. And here's like a close-up of the leaf so that you can better identify it. I really hope that someone out there in the world knows the name of this philodendron, because I hate not knowing the names of my plants. I like to look them up and then find out everything that I need to know so that I could take care of it properly. So this is Philodendron numero uno. Oh, I almost forgot one. So we're going to come to that one next. I almost forgot you, and you're one of my favorites. This is a Philodendron Mykins. And let me see if I turn this on. No. This plant is so beautiful. My sister gave me a clipping. And all of this is new leaves. This little guy I think was there already. But all of that is new growth. This is a new leaf. And this is the beginnings of a new leaf. This was one of its original leaves, and this was also one of its original leaves. And I think like maybe 3 of the original leaves have since died. But it is beautiful. Hold on, let me move you over here. It's so pretty, these leaves. They're like, they're not velvety, but they look velvety, and they're like iridescent. When the sun hits them, they are just beautiful, man. And so my sister gave me this clipping maybe like 2 months ago from the big plant that she bought. And just, isn't it pretty? So I turn it in the spot that it's in because I want this guy to like grow this way. That's going to be the experiment for this beautiful baby. But yeah, this lives here in the bright sun. And I need to do some more investigation because I'm not sure if it's going to be happy here living in the bright sun. This guy, I put it here because I have my other philodendron that I'm going to show you next there. And it seems to be doing well. And it has this one has characteristics of that plant. So I figure if this plant is doing well, then this guy will do well. So we're going to see if I'm right or if I'm horribly wrong. So we're going to go to that one next, which is another plant that I love so much, the Prince of Orange Philodendron. This plant, boy, I bought it for $4. $4. And it was maybe a little bit smaller than this, but all of those leaves are no longer with us. And this is all new growth. So it was mislabeled golden philodendron, but I just knew that wasn't so. So this is not golden. This is fucking orange. And I had wanted the Prince of Orange philodendron. So I was happy. And then for $4, you can't go wrong. But the plant looked like it was not happy or not healthy or it was like dying. I'm sorry, but I needed a sip of coffee. The plant didn't look well when I got it. And I nursed it back to health. And during the winter, it started growing new leaves. So this leaf, well, actually all of these leaves, the only leaves that are still on it from when when I had it before, like when I first got it, is this dying leaf here. These 2 dying leaves here. And this little twisted leaf here. The rest of this is all new growth that happened during the fall and winter months. And it has a little new guy right here. Come on. Can you see it? I hope you can. But yeah, so when the leaves grow out, they grow out like right now, the guy in the middle, the new leaf, the new growth, looks like a dark orange, like red orange. And when the leaf is born, it's just beautiful. Can't fucking see. It's a nice deep orange color. And as it matures, the orange lightens up and lightens up until it eventually gets even lighter and lighter. And then it'll turn green. So you've got all these pretty colors happening at once while the plant is growing. It's beautiful, like flames. Okay, next. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You saw how crooked my finger ended up. 4, and my finger was all crooked. Anyway, Philodendron Scandens. Okay, so I'll say what I'm about to say now after I show you the other one here, and then I'll say what I wanted to say now, but I'm going to hold off. Philodendron Scandens. And this is it. So there's a funny story behind this thing, this plant. My friend Cheeky got me this plant, and he was like, oh, I found the Cebu Blue last summer, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm excited. Hurry, come straight to my house. I can't wait to see it. He gets to my house, and he presents to me this. Oh, look, there you go. He presents to me this. And it was a lot, you know, smaller. It wasn't vining down or anything like that. And I was like, what the hell is this? And he was like, the Cebu Blue. I said, that is not the Cebu Blue. Like, who the fuck told you that was the Cebu Blue? Because they lied. Oh, the guy in the store told me it was the Cebu Blue. And I was like, you see, you know, thank you for the plant. It's beautiful. But this is why you can't, you know, go shopping for plants by yourself. You have to take me with you, because motherfuckers, like in the stores, they take advantage of you if you don't know what it is. If they see that you're looking for something or that you don't know what it is, they'll be like, oh, this is it here, and, you know, whatever. And I don't like that. So when I saw it immediately, I knew. I said, this is a philodendron, because I have the one to my left, and I'm going to show it to you after this one. So I already knew that that was the philodendron, and when I saw this one, I was like, it has characteristics of this guy, so it has to be a philodendron. Googled it, found out it was a Philodendron Scandens. You know, like heart leaf philodendron. Philodendron heteros something, you know what I mean. But yeah, this is it. So it has these it's the same shaped leaves as the Mykins, except they're all green, similar in color to the jade pothos I showed you this morning. And it just vines and vines to its heart's content. The top of it now is growing more leaves, so I'm hoping the top bushes out on its own, but I'm going to leave these guys to vine. And I think it's just so pretty. It lives in the bathroom, and it's just happy. So now I'm going to show you another of my favorite philodendrons in the world. Oh my stars. This was the first philodendron that I bought. My first ever philodendron. The Philodendron Brazil. And this is it. Oh my God. Isn't she beautiful? Let me see something. See, I think you could see the colors of this guy better with the light off. But I'll turn it back on in a minute. But just look at these patterns, yo. Oh my God. It looks like somebody painted the leaves. And then the newer growth down here is growing like this neon color. So this guy is beautiful. And it's, what did I say? A Philodendron Brazil. And I clipped it. I clipped it here. And so this is like the new growth that ended up coming out once I clipped it. But look at this leaf. This is one of my favorite leaves. It's half green and half, oh my stars, half that neon green, yellowy color. Isn't it beautiful? And then this new growth here is completely neon, as is this guy, as is this newest leaf here. And I'm thinking that the reason behind these all yellow leaves is because in the spot that it's living in the bathroom on the wall, it started to not get as much light. So I feel that the less light this guy gets, the neon color, I couldn't find the word in my mind. The neon color ends up coming out more. And the more sun it gets, the more green. This is my theory, according to what I've seen of my plant do. I have videos of this plant, 2 videos from last year, or I don't know, yeah, 2019. If you scroll through my shit, you'll see them. One of them is called Philodendron Brazil, browning leaves or some shit. Like, what's the reason for the browning of the leaves? And I found out, and it was because of the bobby pins. And then I repotted the plant and I gave an update as to how it was doing. But first of all, it was living in a terracotta pot. It did not like the fucking terracotta pots at all. Okay? And it was dying. And then on top of that, I had bobby pins holding the vines down so it could get bushy. The bobby pins ended up rusting for the first time ever because I've always used that trick ever since I first learned it from one of my friends. I believe it was Rachel on Instagram. I've never met her in person, but she's mad cool. And I'm almost certain it was her. She's my friend, even though we've never met. Okay? What was I saying? The bobby pins. So she told me about the bobby pin trick when I had a wandering Jew, and she told me what to do to get it to bush out in the pot, and it worked. And I've never stopped using that trick since, until my Philodendron Brazil almost died on me. So the bobby pins started to rust, and then what happened? The fucking stems themselves started turning all brown and they were dying. So I had to clip them before it was too late. And I put all of that in the thing, and then it came back to life, and this is what we've got here. And it's one of my favorite plants, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it so very much. Now I'm going to show you my 2 biggest philodendrons. I'll start with this guy, because this is not the biggest one. This is my Philodendron Hope. There's so many different names for this guy. I don't know what to think anymore, so I'm going to stick with the one that I'm certain. Someone's making contact. I can't pick up the phone, friend. Siobhan, if you see this video, you're calling me right now, but I can't pick up because I'm making a video. So this is my Philodendron Hope, and this plant has a story. This plant came to me last year on death's door, okay? My friend Cheeky gave me this plant, and it was dying. And I have a video on it. It's called Plant Rescue Philodendron Hope. You can see it there because I'm not sure how to put videos in the description box just yet. I mean, I'm sure I know how to do it. I just haven't done it. But just scroll through my shit. You might see something else that you want to watch. But if you're interested in seeing what this plant looked like before, go find that video. It's not going to be that hard. And I nursed it back to health. And I said, I'm not giving it back. For what? So it could die again? It stays with me now and forever. So this is all new growth. This is the newest leaf up here. And it's just a beautiful plant, as you could see. I gave it a little shower because the leaves are a little dusty. That's why the leaves are wet. But it grows, I'm going to say, a new leaf every, I don't know. Takes a while, you know what I'm saying, for the new leaves to come out. But when they do, they're just beautiful. It's worth the wait. But I'm going to say, like, all of these leaves, because the original leaves that were on it ended up dying. All of this here is new growth. And I'm going to say maybe, like, a leaf, I don't know, every 3 weeks to a month. Because it didn't grow for a while. It just stood, you know, nursing itself back to health before it started producing new leaves. But now that it's, you know, settled and in this nice pot, I repotted it in this nice big pot. And it has its little thingamajigger for water, you know, to catch the water. It's been happy and doing well. Philodendron Hope. Okay, now I'm going to show you my biggest plant. I was going to say the name of it. The biggest philodendron, the Monstera Deliciosa. You know what I'm saying? AKA Swiss cheese plant. And this is it. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, I've seen a bunch of real big ones that other people have, so I know that this is not that big compared to what others have, but for me and the space that I have, it's pretty freaking big. And I love it so much. And it finally started giving me fenestrations. This was the first one, the first leaf that was born with a hole. See? And it has a lot of you know, the leaf still attached to it there. Then came this guy, this leaf here with the hole, and it's hanging on like by a thread of leaf. And then this is my newest leaf that's been born, and it's the same, but look at how these two leaves grew. One hole here, one hole there. They're like Siamese twins. And this is it. So there's 1, 2 plants in here, and then this plant here was like a baby, or I don't know, it was a piece, it was a clipping from these guys that was getting too big, and I was scared the plant was gonna fall over. So I clipped it, put it in water, waited for it to root, and then put it back in here when I repotted this guy into this pot. Now, I don't see any roots coming in at the bottom, so I think this is, oh, sorry, plant, leaf. I think this will be okay here for the summer, and I'll probably have to repot it again. I'm not sure when, but I'm gonna keep an eye out on it. But isn't it a beautiful plant? And I just love it so much. It lives up here. So, I'm gonna talk about lighting conditions now. All my philodendrons get different lighting. This philodendron, when it was little, I bought it as a baby, and it lived up here. And it lived up here until it outgrew the space. But it was getting bright, direct ass sun all summer long, and I hear that that's not what this plant wants. This plant wants like indirect light. And I was giving it the brightest of the bright light, but it survived, and the leaves didn't burn or anything. So I was like, all right. But then I said, you know what? When I found out that it didn't want the bright light, I said, let me move it. And plus, it was getting too big for the space, and I put it all the way. Oh, I'm so sorry. I put it all the way up there. And when I saw the first new leaf come out within like a week and a half or some shit, I was like, okay, it's happy up there, and I left it up there. And then this Philodendron Hope, I had also living in the window to recover, and eventually put it up there with this guy, right? But I felt like it needed more light, and it wasn't super happy up there as opposed to how happy this guy has been up there. So this one now lives down here, where it gets a bunch of the light, but it's not like directly in its fucking face, the light. And I water these maybe like once every 2 weeks, or when I see that the soil is dry, or if the leaf looks like it's unhappy, then. This Philodendron Brazil, I water maybe like once every week and a half or so, maybe even 2 weeks, because it lives in the bathroom, so the soil stays moist. You know what I'm saying? And so I just touch it, and when it feels dry as fuck, I'll water it. And then the same thing with this guy. Right now it lives in the bathroom, but before it lived dangling here on the other side. But the same thing, like the plants in the bathroom, I water them less than I do the plants that are not in the bathroom, because it's so humid in there, the moisture stays in the dirt. And so, you know, that's how I go about watering in the bathroom. And then this one needs a little bit of water, does it? Oh no, it could go without watering. It's still moist underneath. This one I water, even though it's in the window, like maybe once a week. In the summertime, I'm gonna probably have to water it more than once a week if I keep it there, because I'm still not 100% sure if I'm gonna keep it by the window. This one and this one, I'll be watering more often, because I want to make sure that the soil remains moist, because they're clippings. They're not like, what is it? Established plants just yet. They're still clippings, so I want to just make sure that the soil remains, you know, moist for them, so that they could establish themselves, and then the watering won't be as often and shit. So on average, I'm gonna say like maybe once a week, depending on where you have them, depending on how hot it is, but to be on the safe side, once a week, or whenever the soil is dry. You know what I'm saying? This guy here is a philodendron, but it's a mixed pot. I'm going to just throw it in here because this is a clipping from the Philodendron Scandens. And I put it in together with a clipping of the pink, my prized pink syngonium in the bathroom. And this is what it is, and it's so cute. I like how the things are dangling. And I have it here on the counter inside of a shrunken head vase. All right, world, this is it. That was all of my philodendrons, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, as well as the other video I made about all of my pothos plants. I'm gonna be doing this again with my marantas, with my peperomias, and you know, I'll see what else I do. But yeah, another last look at this, guys. Somebody please, you know, if you can't figure it out what this is, ask your friends. Just help me. Help me help this plant by finding out its name. Okay, world, this is it. I hope you enjoy your Monday. I am going to do some things now. And that's it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you could put them down below. If you liked this video, subscribe to my channel. Why not? You know, you subscribe, you click a bell so that you can know when I post other videos. Did I tell you everything you need to know? Was I clear about the light conditions? Okay, I don't think I was clear about the light conditions, so I'm going to just say a little bit more. First of all, the watering is pretty simple. You water when the soil is dry. That's like the basic rule as far as plant life is concerned. You water when the soil is dry. It's not the rule all around, however, because some plants, they don't want to get dried out. You know what I'm saying? For example, the maidenhair fern, if you let that plant dry out and you water it again, you have like a 99% chance that it's not going to come back to life. It might. There's always that one little chance, but for the most part, it's not coming back to life. With these plants, however, the philodendrons, you could, you know, if you let them dry out, they're not going to die. You could still water them and they'll perk up, but you don't want to always have to do that to your plants. You know what I'm saying? I didn't mention that in the last video. I'm going to say it now. You don't always want to wait until your plants faint for you to water them. Be on point. Watch your plants. Touch your dirt. You know what I'm saying? But in the event that they do pass out, it's all good. Okay. Gamma. Sun requirements. For the sun requirements, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to just say it's best to not give them bright ass direct light, man, because a lot of plants don't like it. The thinner the leaf, you know, the more away from the bright direct light you want your plant to be. You want it, you know, just give it bright indirect light. I'm gonna say that's also like a thing around the board. Medium to bright indirect light, and most of your houseplants will do well. You know, you just, that bright ass sun, especially if you have them by a window, which is why I emphasize that so much, not bright direct sunlight. Even though some plants can take it. You know what I'm saying? Also, if you keep your plant moist, the soil, and it's still in bright light conditions, it's going to be okay. But the danger is that you don't want to burn your leaves. And the fucking window, when the sun acts like a magnifying glass, and it's just going to destroy your shit, and you don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that for my plants. I don't want that for your plants. All right, so you already know I said what I said, and that's it. Okay, world? From my philodendrons and myself, I bid you farewell. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.